Hey y'all, it's Taylor with y'all 106.7. Today we are joined by country music singer-songwriter Mae Estes. Welcome to y'all.
Thank you so much.
Good to see ya. We met at CMA Fest.
Yes.
Briefly.
In the heat.
In the heat.
I remember we were both trying to soak up some AC, and I was like, that's Taylor, because
Yeah.
I listen religiously to y'all.
Thank
Obviously,
you.
it's if you've listened to any of my music, you know this is my
Absolutely.
my favorite stuff right here.
You got on a Shenandoah hat right now, so we know you got good taste in music.
Amen.
Briefly, you were saying that you sang with Marty of Shenandoah.
So a couple years ago in El Dorado, Arkansas, I was playing a festival, and that's pretty close to my hometown of Hope, Arkansas. And I saw Shenandoah was going to be on the bill. I'm a big fan, and I had this hat that I'd gotten from one of their shows, and so I brought it, was all prepared, and my buddy Josh Matheny plays dobro for me, and he was like, you ought to be ready to sing that Alison Krauss duet in case they let you. And I was like, there's no way. And Marty was so kind, and I got to shake his hand in the green room before, and I said, hey, Marty, if you need an Alison Krauss fill-in, like, put me in, coach. I'm ready to go. And he laughed and was like, I wish I would have known. And then a couple hours later, he comes and finds me and says, hey, I actually have the band learning that song right now. Are you ready to go? And I was like, I studied, buddy. I'm ready to go. And so that's on my YouTube if anybody wants to check it out. But unreal opportunity, and they were so sweet to me. So just legends. I can't believe it.
You were prepared for that. That was your moment to shine.
Well,
You did it.
I've been in Nashville for 10 years now, and getting hit left and right with all the hard stuff, and that's usually the way those cool, crazy last-minute opportunities happen, is you just got to be ready for anything. And so there's definitely a lot of those I've entered in where I was like, I don't know how this is going to go, but I'm definitely not going to miss the chance, to have such a crazy moment. So I try to stay prepared as much as I can.
Because you sang with Vince Gill, right, at the Bluebird?
We are dropping a lot of names.
Yeah.
In this
I mean, we have to, it's the core artists that we play here at y'all. We play Vince, we play, Shenandoah, and I'm sure it was inspiring for you just to be able to sing alongside those guys.
Yeah, they're the reason I moved from small town Arkansas and set my sights on Nashville so young. And, I don't come from any money or a musical background. I just had some crazy audacity to believe that I could be that one in a million. And those artists taught me to sing and taught me to write songs and showed me that it was possible. And so they are everything to me, truly. And Vince was a special case. I met him backstage at the Opry, and he's obviously, if you've ever been around him, he has no ego, and nobody's told him he's Vince Gill, which is amazing. And so, my buddy Aaron Ratier is a big songwriter in town and called me and said, hey, I want you to play the Bluebird with me, and I want us to bring somebody that's just going to wipe the floor with us, that's just going to embarrass us in this round. Who's a songwriter we could call? And I was like, well, first thing that comes to mind is, listen, Vince Gill's kind of become my buddy. I think he'd answer the phone if I call him. Aaron, should I ask him to play the Bluebird with us? And called Vince. He's so kind. He's like, well, I'm flying out. I think I'm flying out that next morning, with the Eagles at the Sphere, but I don't think we're flying out to that next day. I'd love to be there. Like, I'll do it. And I was like, there is no way this man is going to show up. And sure enough, got to sitting around at the historic Bluebird Cafe with Aaron Ratier and Vince Gill for, whatever that 2 hours is. And it was unbelievable.
That's incredible. And Aaron, we've interviewed him as well. He's hilarious.
Oh, he's a mess.
And he's such a talented songwriter too.
Yeah, he's a good human all around, but that's the beauty of him, is he is so outside of the box, and he's not trying to please anybody. He is authentically himself, and his brain is such a cool space. We've written some really incredible songs together.
Oh, well, speaking of your music, Mr. Fix It, taking on a life of its own on TikTok. I love that song. Your sound, we were talking about it, it's very traditional, but you also have that modern edge to you, and I just love, you almost have your own distinct sound going on.
That's awesome.
How did you find your way into country music, and what made you pick that song as your recent release?
Yeah, well, just a quick story on my journey. I started singing, like publicly performing, when I was 7 at rodeos I was in. I grew up rodeoing in Arkansas, and they always played the national anthem and played a Leanne Rimes version of it. And I've just have been singing since I came out the womb. I love to be the center of attention. I'm just like the jester. I'm like, here I am to entertain you. How do I help everybody? And So the anthem was my first opportunity, and I told my mama, I was like, y'all turn that Leanne Rhymes off. You got the real deal right here. And so she let me sing the anthem at 7, and that's where I caught the bug. And I just realized I had some kind of crazy gift that I still don't understand to connect with complete strangers. And when it's done right, I think they feel seen and I feel seen. And so that's kind of the premise of everything I do with singing and writing. And writing kind of came later for me. I grew up in a country song. Honestly, I joke that I grew up in a Jerry Springer episode. I have all of the drama and family, BS you could ever want to write all these crazy country songs about. And so I really just pull from my own life and a lot of things I've seen or been close to or experienced myself, and have been really grateful to find, especially with social media, that there are a lot of people that relate to it. And there really aren't any unique experiences. We all feel so alone in so many feelings we have, and then you share music and you're like, wow, I'm not alone. And so that's been the biggest tool with music for me. And with this last song, Mr. Fix It, kind of a little out of the box for me. I have, cheating songs and a lot of divorce songs and murder songs, and those are the emotions. That's my forte. That's really where I feel, I can honky tonk all day long and call a man out for his behavior, but I'm married to the best man I've ever met, and I didn't plan for that in my life. I have tried to run him off from the second he showed up and was like, you are too good to be true and too good for me, and you're going to get tired of me and give up quick. And we're 8 years into our relationship, and he's still here and the most supportive thing ever. And I could not do anything I do in music without this man as my partner by my side.
That's
and
sweet.
I thought it was due time he got him a country love song out of the deal. So
he inspired it.
Yep, it's for him.
Yeah, and people are loving it on TikTok. They're praising their men with that song. It's a really cute song. And your other songs, like you were talking about, the murder songs, the divorce songs. I like your song Good Old Boy, because you think it's going to be about a good old boy, but then the hook is you give good old boys a bad name.
Yeah.
Very edgy.
Yeah, I'm always trying to, flip something on its head. I've studied classic country music, forever. So pretty much everything has been done at some point lyrically. So I'm always looking for just a unique perspective on something. And I really like to provoke thought with my lyrics. My Thinking About Cheating song, I love to joke about, and it offends a lot of people. And I've been in some sticky situations by singing it in front of some people and certain things like that. But mostly, like, that's an issue we have in the world, and nobody likes to talk about it. So I like to pull that stuff we sweep under the rug that makes people uncomfortable and put it on display. That's what I love to do as a songwriter.
Those honest songs are what people love. It's like a lot of the music that we play here, that storytelling of the 90s. It's incredible. So are you hitting the road this year? I know you had some dates with Luke Bryan, Brad Paisley. What do we have coming up?
Yeah, girl, we are in the thick of it. We were on the road with Luke Bryan for the first weekend this last weekend. Played my first stadium show in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Congrats.
We're playing for crowds of upwards of 20,000 people, which is mind-blowing for a small-town Arkansas girl. And we have 15 dates with Luke Bryan this summer. We're out with Ashley McBride some more, who's become an incredible mentor of mine and just great friend. We are out with Gary Allen some more. The Brad Paisley shows were unbelievable, getting to sing Whiskey Lullaby with Brad Paisley.
Wow. You sang with a lot of people, Mae.
Yeah.
That is really cool.
It's almost like you keep your head down.
Yeah.
Like I said, for 10 years, you're trucking along, and then you look up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have stories for days that I just wouldn't believe are even real if I didn't have the video to prove it.
That is so special. So you've done a lot of cool things already.
Yeah.
When you look at your career, what are some maybe goals that we have over the next 5 years?
Well, speaking of touring, I am ready for a tour bus.
Yeah.
Please, good God, get me on a bus. Because it is so hard to travel across the country, y'all, and you sacrifice so much for that 25-minute set you got, and I'm always terrified of sounding, ungrateful for it. But I hope there's a space where people can hear how grateful I am and how hard I've worked for it, and also acknowledge that it is so hard and unfair in so many ways, and we do it because we don't have a choice. We feel so called to it. But a bus would make my life and my crew's life, who works so hard for me, and I want to take care of my people so much, it would make their life a lot easier. So big goal is a bus.
Yes.
And another big goal of mine, because I obviously love traditional country music, the radio is really important to me still. Country radio, I know the digital space has changed a lot of things for a lot of us, but having my song on country radio is the biggest dream. That little 7-year-old girl that started singing would not believe that. So I am doing everything I possibly can to figure out what that song is that's going to connect with everybody, and hopefully have a song on the radio one day.
We're speaking it into existence right here. We're getting you a tour bus. We're getting you on the radio.
Write it down.
I mean, you're so energetic. You know, you have the best energy and you're so talented. So we can't wait to see everything that you do in your career. We know this is just the beginning, but you're going to play for us today. What are you going to play?
I think I'm going to sing to y'all about my Mr. Fix-It.
Let's hear Mr. Fix-It.